So I just wanted to show you all a really cool interactive map that displays asteroids and their value. In this particular screen, it's a little bit more difficult to interact with it. It's just for kind of like an overall perspective of it to give an idea. So right here, for example, is the closest to us, and you can see they're much more. If you were to go to the Earth view, you can see that they're mostly congregating around our orbit. So that's pretty neat. Um, what's really interesting about this to me, and this is tells you that it tracks 600,000, but it doesn't want to crash the computer, so it limits it. So like we can go to 10, for example. We can go to 4,000. Seeing that's giving that's giving the computer a little bit of problems. There we go. Okay, so with this is an interesting tool that I believe is coming from NASA. Yeah, NASA. Uh, Basically, they when they find an asteroid, they will chart it, and then they determine the value of it, and this lets you kind of map out everything that is of value, so people can kind of plan ahead with their technology. So, in theory, like for example, if you were to go to most accessible. And let's find. So this means that these are the asteroids that are the easiest to get to. Oops, I forgot to take it down to 300. Halo of white. Let's see. Any of these got an estimated profit we can work off of, maybe? No. How about estimated value? No. Okay. How about. Shame they haven't appraised everything. So fine, we'll just do it like that. So these asteroids in particular are worth over apparently 100 trillion. So if you were to take one of these and get the materials in it, the nickel, the cobalt, the carbon, the water, all of that, and haul it back to Earth, all together its value would be over 100 trillion. So let's take a look at Asteroid Chicago. So this is mainly nickel, iron, cobalt, water, nitrogen, hydrogen, and ammonia. Isn't that interesting? I always love that they have the images too. Welcome to astronomy. Oh wow, look at that. They got all these different images. That's cool. Estimated to be in that much of value. Chiron I've heard of. Kind of far out though. Once again, nickel, iron, cobalt, water, nitrogen, hydrogen, ammonia. Amazing. Let's go to one that's... Oh, they're all worth 100 trillion, of course. How about most cost effective? How about Ryugu? That one's close to us. Wow, that one's really close to us. Isn't that cool? So if you were to haul that back to Earth, you would get about $30 billion. That's a lot of money. What's it made out of? Interesting. Same as the others. This one's only nickel, iron, and cobalt, so this is like a metal one. Let's see. Neat. I wonder which one would give you the most. Wow. Tangshan. Did I say that right? Or what's this one like? JPL? Right. Okay. And there we go. That's kind of the whole chart. It's really neat because it's so interactive and it lets you kind of get a feel for well, not only just that there's a whole bunch of stuff out there that's valuable in space, but also how we are already beginning to build the infrastructure for this stuff. The technology exists that we can go to these asteroids and we can at least get some material for them and bring it back. There's been a few experiments in the last few years that have actually done that, and it's quite interesting to think that maybe 20, 30, 40 years you could hook up some kind of satellite, a probe, with a very weak solar powered ion thruster, and just over a period of 5 years, just gradually adjust its course so that you can align it to be captured by Earth's orbit. And maybe we can tug it into a stable one around Earth and then just tear it apart for materials. I believe that this is where we should be getting our supply from in the future. Um, the less demand that we can put on the resources on Earth, like with nickel, cobalt, iron, things that we use every day, we have a decent chance of beginning the process of actually repairing the planet. My belief is that to fix things here inside the box, we're going to have to literally go outside of the box and grab materials to rebalance the scales. That's my kind of theory on how you can actually make a functional system in place, like shuttling down materials from asteroids. Imagine how little. Imagine how much water is on a comet that if you just towed into orbit could provide that water to a completely parched region. How many comets would it take to get the Sahara Desert green? So and that could be done off of just a couple probes, a handful. You just have them go out to an asteroid or comet that you want. You have them gently tug it back into place. Lasers, chemicals, maybe explosives, maybe just attaching it directly and using the ion thruster to adjust it, or just a chemical thruster could do it too. There's a whole bunch of ways that this could be done. So I hope this gave you a little bit of food for thought. I know I'm always thinking about this kind of stuff. Um, when the new computer comes in, I'll be switching to Universe Sandbox so I can explore this idea further. But I wanted to get you guys a little bit familiar with the idea before I feature it. Even Henry the cat wants to know about the asteroids. Let's see, upcoming passes. What's coming? What's coming at us? Nothing. Surely there must be something, right, Henry? Let's see. Well, why can't we see him? That's strange. I'm not sure what to make of that. Oh, and the smallest. I'm curious. I just want to see what the biggest profit is from these tiny, tiny ones. From the smallest ones, 500 billion. What is this made out of? One series? I've heard of this one. Oh, yeah. Nitrogen and ammonia. Just think about that. Like dropping a mountain's worth uh, just into the supply market. You could make so much money off of these. It's incredible. So, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.